Hello, hello, hello. Da, 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 da. Welcome back and let us continue with our game. Alright, look at that. Yeah. Okay, this time I want to make sure my eyes don't blink like crazy. I mean, my eyes don't close. Okay. I'm not sure why. Previous stream, my eye is closed when I speak. Okay, 它真的是不会出来那个 stream preview. Something wrong. My stream preview come out. Okay, please. Okay. Slim, feeling the sting from the punishment. Yeah. Slim, feeling the sting from the punishment. 发现到好像是会不会是看着那个看在 game 里面的时候 Slim feeling the sting from the punishment. Why 咧 Why will my eye close? Slim feeling Slim feeling the sting from the punishment. Yeah. Is it whenever I speak too much? Is it because I'm not looking directly in front like this? So if I look at the bottom there and I speak, my eyes will close. Maybe I could make this work by looking at there, looking at different area a little bit, and then like this. As she walked ahead, I lectured her from behind. At the same time, I asked her some questions. The more I think about it, the less you seem like a 9-year-old. How old are you exactly? Okay, have to change the tracking angle.
11岁，
11
天启
岁。
元年生人，属鸡。
Oh, chicken. 属鸡。11. Born in the first year of 天启, year of the rooster. Oh, you seem small, like a 9-year-old.
我吃的少，长得矮。
Eat less, so I'm short. Okay. What's your name?
满岁。
满岁。满岁。She paused for a moment, then uttered 2 words. How do you write
不
it?
会写，只知道岁是吃的那个岁。
Huh? With you? Don't know how to write. Just know 岁 as in with you. But in Chinese is eat what? 吃的那个岁 I don't know. I don't know why is that. 吃的那个水 with ear. Your parents truly work as tenant
真的，
farmers.
到洛阳城后，你可以去查。
真的 Really? When we reach Luoyang City, you can verify. What if those words are false?
若有假，我全家不得好死。
全家不得好死 If I lie to you, my whole family will suffer. Okay. I will check your story as we travel. No need for odds. Odds. I think my eye is not closing right. 为什么 feel like the tracking for VTuber is not so accurate yet, unless I have to buy V-Bridger. Probably that's the case, but it's fine then. Then we'll get V-Bridger soon. I hate being lied to. If you lie to me, I will kill you and your whole family. I warned her coldly. After hearing the threat of killing her whole family, she shivered and fell silent. She might have been scared, or just been worn out from the crying and yelling earlier. Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, I just realized my mouth is not opening. Another problem with the tracking. Another problem with the tracking. It's very inconsistent sometimes. It's very inconsistent. It's very inconsistent. 发生了什么事情 What happened? Very inconsistent. Does that mean I have to like in front? Have to be like this? Have to be like this to be accurate? So if I shove a bit if I shove a bit 去旁边一点点 go a bit left, then can already. Go a bit, have to be in center. Cannot. Don't know. Have to be in center. Have to be in very center. Oh, okay. I know why. Ish. So I have to lift up my head like this. Then only it can track better. I still have to. One problem about my webcam is a little bit high up. So when it shoots on my face, my face is actually facing a little bit downward. It's not directly in front. So could it be better now? Could it be better? She might have been scared or just been worn out from crying and yelling earlier. In either case, she walked in front of me in silence, not paying me any more heed. Moonlight stretched her shadow as she moved through the mountainous woods. From behind, she appeared slender and solitary, akin to a lone young animal. 慢水. Please don't close eyes, please. May I have to speak slow a little bit. Sui as in the wheat ear. Wheat ear 是什么？是稻草麦。I silently repeated her name. This name echoed with the hope of a farming family, like the wish for fields to be lush with golden wheat ears. Suddenly, a series of scenes surged into my mind. It was as if I could see a vast wheat field. Yeah, whenever I speak, actually my eyes will close. The endless field bathed in sunlight, with ears linked together like a golden lake. A strong wind stirred, creating ripples on the lake, forming waves. 奇怪，讲太多话的话，讲太多话，然后我就会一直关眼睛。奇怪，讲少话就不会。为何讲少一点话就不会关眼睛的咩？平时 her family held her hand, running amidst these waves. She laughed and fell into golden sea, smiling joyfully. Oh, home. Prologue. Is this flashback? I think it's flashback. The backstory of Mansui. I knew why Dad named me Mansui. Dad was a farmer, working a hectare of land. The hectare he farmed was all planted with wheat. In spring, wheat was green, and come summer, it would transform into a stunning golden color. 我在想，如果我把这个东西带过来的话，呀 ，it will move. Let's try window mode. I don't know if it become better or not, but shall see. But the problem is window mode I cannot adjust. But it's fine then. In spring, wheat was green, and come summer, it would transform into a stunning golden color, and Dad would go harvest the wheat when summer was drawing to a close. 奇怪，是不是如果切换 game 的时候，它就会 stunning wheat color. So if it is confirmed that if I look down and speak, then I will close my eyes for whatever reason. Maybe this mode is not so accurate. But then I would trail behind that one step after another, that pray for a good harvest every year and hope that the wheat would fill the entire field. That's why after my birth, he named me Mansui, meaning full head of wheat. 慢水啊，喂，馒头 is it? A nickname means 水儿。
小猫乖，小猫乖，
小猫乖 ，good kitten, good kitten. I squatted down and gently stroked the kitten's chin. When I stroked its chin, it would feel good. Raise its head, squint its eye, and start purring. I couldn't help but chuckle at the sight of the kitten. Recently, a kitten had been regularly showing up at our doorstep. A stray kitten came out from nowhere and found its way to our village one day. At first, it would wander around the village entrance, and Dad said that sooner or later, it would be butchered and eaten. I couldn't stand the thought of that, so I kidnapped it and brought it home. I didn't keep it locked up. Instead, I just let it roam around every day. However, since I had been regularly feeding it, it didn't usually stray too far from my home. Over time, it became my cat.
小猫，你娘住哪呀？
小猫咪 Hey, little kitty, where does your mom live? I stroked the cat's head and asked. Meow. The cat meowed at me once. I didn't understand what it was saying, but my guess was that it had probably gotten separated from its mom and had been wandering for a long time, very long time.
小猫，你最喜欢吃什么呢？
Kitty, what's your favorite food? I tilted my head and asked. Meow. Meow meow. The kitten meowed again. I still didn't understand what it was saying.
我去给你找点吃的。
我去给你找点吃的。Not understanding the language of cats, I smiled and gently patted the kitten's head. Then I walked over to a small clay pot next to the front door. I reached into the pot and took out a small fish the size of my palm. I caught it in the river this morning.
来，给你吃。
Here, eat this. I gave the small fish to the kitten. The kitten joyfully snacked the fish with its two paws, licking it fervently with its tongue. And that's when I would take the opportunity to pet it. I put my hand on its back, slowly stroking its fur. It's very well behaved. It doesn't move no matter how I pet it.
小帅儿，你怎么用小鱼儿来喂狸奴啊？太浪费了。
Grandma. No, Grandma. Hey, sweetheart, why would you give the fish to the cat? It's such a waste.
这小鱼是我在河边抓的，反正鱼太小，人吃不了，不如给小猫吃。
是咯。I caught this fish in the river. It's too small anyway. We can't eat it. So it's better to give to the kitten.
哎，鱼小也都是肉，不如让你爹煮了，就这野菜给我们开开荤呢。
No, Grandma, no. Son, it's still eatable, even if it's small. Why don't we let your dad cook it? Or we will have some fish with vegetables.
作孽呀！这年头这么苦，狸奴都比人吃得好。
Oh, yeah. You know, it's still the same in the modern days. Cats eat better than humans. Oh, come on. It's pretty tough this thing. Even cats eat better than humans.
咱家上下一年到头都吃不了几回肉，这熊孩子倒好，用鱼肉来喂狸。
这熊孩子 I want to tell your family, Barry. Oh my god. Barry get to eat fish of meat a few times a year. And these naughty cats actually using fish to feed the cat. I hear my grandma's non-stop complaints in my ears. As grandma grew older, her nagging also gradually increased. She complained about mom the most, and me next. Mom really took good care of grandma. She never talked back when grandma was nagging. Instead, she would bow her head amid her fault and adjust silently. I thought that was really smart. If you talk back to grandma, she would counter 10 times, and so forth without an end.
穗儿，别玩了，来给娘帮忙。
Mom is here. Sweetheart, stop playing around. Come help me out. While I was thinking about mom, she suddenly called my name.
等一下，
Wait a moment.
不能等，我在给你弟弟喂粥。
不能等，快点来。I can't wait. I'm feeding porridge to your brother.
帮什么忙呀？
帮什么忙呀？ What do you need help with?
洗菜。
洗菜。Wash the vegetable.
好，我来了。
All right, coming.
小猫，小猫，我不能喂你了，你要自己吃干净哦。
Kitty, I can't hand feed you anymore. You have to finish everything though. All right. I patted the kitten's head and tossed the fish onto the ground. Meow, meow, meow. The kitten obediently lifted its head and let out a meow as if it understood my words. Such a clever kitten. I sighed in admiration silently and turned around and went inside to help Mom. Mom was feeding porridge to my brother. I grabbed a bunch of wild vegetables piled in the corner of the room. The roots of vegetables were covered in dirt, emitting an earthy scent. To prevent the house from becoming damp, we washed the vegetables outside. I carried the vegetable washing basket outside and started washing vegetables next to Grandma, who was sunbathing. She glanced at me with her eyes half closed before dozing off again. Mom already taught me how to wash vegetables. I scooped some water from the water tank and poured some into the vegetable washing basket, then tossed the wild vegetables in. After soaking the vegetables for a while to remove the dirt, I changed the water and used my hands to scrub them. I wanted to clean the vegetables well, so Mom would praise me for being responsible when she sees them later.
今天是5月初6，说来也巧，穗儿诞辰之时也是5月初6。
Oh, it's the 6th of May. Interestingly, Suya's birthday is also the 6th of May.
娘，姐姐几岁？
Yeah, Mom, how old is Sui?
8岁了，她呀，再过几年就要嫁人喽。
The heck? 8? Well, in a few years, she's going to get married. But in a few years is what? 11, 12? What the heck? Do people get married that early in the early days?
几年？
几年? How many years?
怎么说也得6年。等她到了14岁，头发就可以竖起来，然后便可以嫁人啦。
Wow. So we have such tradition back in the old days. At least in another 6 years, when she turns 40, she can tie up her hair, and then she can get married into another family 14 years old. Wow.
那我几岁嫁人？
Then what age do I get married
胡
of?
话，你是男丁，不嫁人的。
Nonsense. You're a boy. You don't get married off.
你要给家里传宗接代，以后要考功名，娶媳妇儿。
传宗接代，娶媳妇儿。You will have to carry on the family line, make a name for yourself in the imperial examinations, and marry someone into our family. I was washing vegetables outside the house and I could hear their conversation. He's my younger brother. He was 3 years old and just learned how to talk last year. Ever since my brother was born, the most adored child in the family has become him instead of me. I felt jealous when my younger brother took away the love that used to be directed at me in the family. There were times when I really disliked him and times when I liked him. In the past year, I guess the liking part has been a bit more than the dislike.
Sir!
What? Question mark. Sui Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice which made me immediately stop my job and raise my head. A man was approaching from the farmland in the distance. He was dressed in burlap fabric and wearing a bamboo hat. He was tall and broad and there was always a tender smile on his face. He's my dad and my favorite family member. Daddy! I ran over right away and hugged his type upon seeing him.
穗儿乖啊！
Good girl, Sui乖. Dad stroked my head like how I stroked the kitten's head.
穗儿猜猜看，爹爹今天给你带了什么？
Sui try check. Take a guess, Sui. What did Daddy bring you today?
什么呀？
Shamaya, what is it? I curiously leaned forward. Dad then took up the treasure he had hidden for a long time. It was a dark red thing with a weird shape like a wooden ball.
爹爹，这是什么呀？
What's this, Daddy?
听说啊，这叫番薯，海外传来的稀罕货，吃了能长寿。
番薯. Oh yeah, sweet potato is used to be, what do you say? Yeah, the poor's livelihood ration back in those days. I heard this is called a sweet potato. It's a rare item from overseas. Eating it can lead to a long life.
你怎么弄的？
How do you get it?
花了一点钱，跟村里的人买的。
I spent some coins and bought it from a townsman.
这2年光景不好，你还乱花钱。
乱花钱. Ish. It's been pretty tough this couple of years, yet you are still splurging. 乱花钱是 called splurging 啊 ，waste money 啊。
哎，没事儿，偶尔吃吃呗，多下点力气，种更多的地，钱不就回来了？
It's fine. It's not like we are having this every day. I work harder on the farms and make up for this in no time. Dad explained while smiling, and Mom didn't say anything more. I put my hands on the potato, which was rough on the surface. It seemed like it had to be peeled first before
爹
eating.
爹，我要吃，
Dad, I want to eat it.
我也要吃。
Me too. I told Dad I wanted to eat the sweet potato, and my brother also wriggled in my mom's arms, saying he wanted some too.
哎，什么稀罕玩意儿，我也要尝尝。
Hey, what's the big deal? I want some too. Even Grandma stumbled in from outside the house, saying she wanted some.
哎，好，等会儿我就烤了它。哎，别急，你们都有份啊。
Okay, I will roast it in a bit. Be patient. You will all get your share. 哎呀，现在我脸应该要向哪里好哎？还是要向左边多哎？如果是像这样子的话，就会看右边。Dad chuckled, stroking my head and shouting at us. I looked at my family in the house and felt blissful. I looked up toward the cloudless sky. I wanted to find a cloud that resembled me, but I couldn't. What will I be like when I grow up? Who will I marry in the future? Besides getting married, what else will I do in the future? I have no clue about any of these. I only know that I have a wish. I want to be with my family forever. Shadow Play, Chapter 4 already. Oh, the whole Chapter 3 is to talk about the backstory. In the early morning, a light mist covered the mountains of forest. The sun broke through the haze, shining on our campsite. The birds were already up at this hour, chirping without fatigue, as if signaling to the lambs that it's time to get up. Throughout the night, I remained vigilant to observe the surrounding. I held onto my blade, leaning against a tree, awaiting the break of dawn. Mansui's mindset was surprisingly good. Despite the events of last night, it didn't seem to bother her sleep. Once at the campsite, she soon drifted off, her delicate snores blending with the nighttime chorus of insects. Perhaps my spanking last night left her bottom too sore to lie down, so she chose to sleep on her stomach. With arms crossed on the ground, she nestled. What is this? Nested her head between them, half dozing with her own backside in the air. Heh, even more like a cat. After observing Mansui for a while, I took a brief glance at the other lambs and Tang. Midway through, I took a short nap, attempting to sleep with eyes open. I tried sleeping with my eyes open several times over the years, but it never seemed to work. It will never work lah. Impossible. Impossible can sleep with your eyes open. No one is able to do that. No. After a couple of hours of restlessness, I witnessed the sun rise across the hills as dawn arrived, and Tang woke up.
起来，都起来，我们要继续赶路了啊！
Wait, get up, wake up everyone. It's time to hit the road again. Tang, freshly awake, promptly urged the lambs to get up. He paced, shouted, and tapped his dagger on the tree next to the lambs, occasionally poking them. The lambs rubbed their eyes, sat up, and then stood up one by one. After everyone woke up, we hit the road. The sun was in the east, and we walked towards it. After an hour of walking, a lamb suddenly called
梁
me.
爷，有事？
Master Liang, something's out. 有事？有什么事？ Honger called out to me. What's up? Need to go potty again?
不是，是肚子饿。我没肚子饿，我也饿了。
Oh, 什么有口音的嘞？ Got accent one. Yeah, we are hungry. My sister's hungry, and so am I. Oh, I will go get some grub.
哎，梁，等等，
Liang, wait. I headed for the saddlebags. And at the moment, Tang stopped me.
干嘛顺着这小羊？它饿就饿去呗。
Why go along with the lamb? Let her be if she's
我
hungry.
们不是定好规矩了，每天只有正午和黄昏发粮，这样便于管那些小羊，也不会误了时辰。
But breakfast is important, man. It's unhealthy to skip breakfast, boy. We agree on a schedule, right? Grub is given out only at noon and dusk daily. It helps manage the lambs without missing the appointed times. Okay. I nodded and pulled back my hand from reaching for the ration. Tang was right. Rules bring order. Fetching grub every time a lamb is hungry would disrupt the routine and prevent them from realizing their disadvantaged situation. Hang in there a bit longer. I will distribute rations at noon. I walk over to Hong and relay my message. Their faces show a hint of disappointment. I glance at them without saying more and continue on my way. We kept going on the mountain path, moving slow to accommodate the lambs. Climb up a bit, then went down another stretch. Past experience suggested we were just past Shaohua Mountain into Mount Huashan's territory. Dense trees limited visibility. I couldn't spot Mount Huashan's peak. At noon, everyone was a bit hungry, and the lambs were showing signs of fatigue. We decided to take a short break, grab some food. But right at the moment, something unexpected happened.
妈的，梁，快过来！
妈的，又来妈的。Damn, hurry. Tang at the front of the line suddenly yelled. He saw something in the woods, a surprised look on his face. He waved for me to come over. I was puzzled. I cautiously moved forward, hand on the blade at my waist. ... A corpse. Wow. Clearing away the branches, what came into view was a lifeless body. leaning against a tree, probably a man. The reason I said probably was that he had been dead for days, making it hard to distinguish his features. Oh, his features. Trees connected to the white bones, bone fused with flesh, flesh clinging to clothing, all bound together, shrouded with a black cloth on the head, dressed in a rag robe, hair unkempt, face mostly hidden in the shadow of his hair, but glimpses of a bloody hole peeped through the strands. Countless ants crawl over his mangled body, flies buzzing around. They darted in and out of his flesh, feasting on the man's corpse. I was curious why the body didn't stink. When I noticed the insects, the foul odor hit my nose, carried by the wind. Gross. Okay. Suddenly, the disgusting smell of the corpse hit me, filling my lungs and making my stomach churn. Ooh. It would suddenly scream. Chionghua. Chionghua, who came with us, got a big scare when he saw the corpse.
别叫！
Shh, don't shout. Tang gave Chionghua a fierce look. Chionghua quickly stepped back in fear. Honger also noticed the corpse didn't stare, just rushed to block Chuya from seeing. Mansui got a bit jittery seeing the corpse, but compared to the other girls, she held up well. She kept staring at the body, looking kinda spaced out. Deadly injury on the neck. I held my nose and leaned over to check the body. The man had a neat cut on his neck. Even though the blood had dried, it was clear that this cut ended his life. Dead for over 10 days. Definitely not an animal's doing. Someone killed him. Corpse is in good shape. No big beasts have come to eat it.
那看来，坏消息是附近有盗匪，好消息是附近没有野兽。
Well, looks like bad news. Bandit around. Good news. No wild beasts nearby. Might not be bandits. Could be someone from his same group who did it. This route's not an official route, but we have been through it before. Hardly ever ran into bandits. Nowadays, travelers killing each other isn't uncommon. I share my suspicion, stealing a glance at Mansui behind me. Indeed, had I been less cautious last night, I might have been killed by her and left sprawled by the lake. A fortnight later, my remains would be a feast for insects discovered amidst horrified screams. With that in mind, I felt the urge to give her a stern lesson again tonight.
呀，看看他身上还有什么东西。
Liang, check if there's anything else on him. Alright. Enduring the odor, Tang and I decided to scavenge the corpse. This was our custom. In the forest, we always resembled wolves. Wolves would bite down on prey worth biting, and they would gnaw on leftover remains. 头会歪去。
妈的，什么都没有，
妈的，
早被扒空了，看来真是盗匪杀的。
All the mother. Yeah, empty-handed. Completely looted. Looks like the work of bandits. Not empty-handed lah, at least found this. I presented Tang with a unique find, a apostrophe. Despite finding nothing on the man, we came across a wooden box nearby. The box was of a rich dark wood, the specific kind unknown to me. About 3 feet in length, it housed a donkey hide, 2 braces, 3 differently sized brushes and knives, 4 pre-cut puppets, and a cluster of dye bottles. I knew these things. The wooden box contained items for shadow play.
这是啥？
这是啥? What's this? Used for shadow play performance.
影子戏，看来这男的是戏子。
影之线 shadow play. Seems like this guy was a performer. Not necessary. Maybe just had to resort to shadow play as a means of making a living. I casually told Tang, and as I spoke, I began packing up the man's wooden box, intending to store in our belongings.
喂，梁，你想捡这破烂？这东西连盗匪都不要，你捡到城里能卖几个钱？
捡这破烂。Hey Liang, you plan to pick up this trash? Not even the bandits bother with it. How much can you get for it in town? I just want it.
那你得把这东西和放干粮的地方弄远点儿，不然有味儿。
不然有味儿。You have got to place this stuff further from we keep the food. Oh, it will smell, man. Luckily, this box was already far from the corpse. Saying that, I wedged the wooden box into a gap in the stuff on the pack horse.
妈的，本来就没胃口，给你搞得更没胃口了。
妈的 Damn it. I already had no appetite. And now it's even worse. To count how many times he say mother throughout the whole game. We missed lunch by 2 hours. Finding a dead body tended to ruin everyone's appetite. During this time, Chonghua and Hong'er struggled with nausea, likely disturbed by the memory of the corpse. They held back from vomiting, not wanting to lose precious food. Vomiting would mean one less meal, and it might draw attention, risking a scolding from us. 2 hours later, Tang and I handed up the grub to the lambs. I took a short nap at noon, and Tang took the lambs for a bathroom break. Then he also rested for a bit while keeping watch. In the afternoon, we walked along a long stretch of mountainous trail. It got tougher, with a good stretch of unused trail. We pushed through the weeds, and sometimes I had to use my blade to cut through thorns, blocking the way. Chonghua's legs got a bit shaky during this, and there was a moment when she slipped into a mountain ditch. Luckily, she had a rope tied around her waist, and we swiftly pulled her back up. After getting pulled up, she was still shaken. Tang mocked with a few mean comments, but Mansui approached, took her hand and comforted her. Shivering and teary-eyed, Chonghua slowly calmed down with Mansui's silent comfort. Mansui took care of things for us. Tang and I weren't going to coddle the sensitive lamb. Okay, sensitive lamb. Even Tang had to admit, well, this mute lamb is the most worry-free. As Tang said that, I glanced at Mansui. At that moment, she raised her eyes and looked at me with a hint of smugness, as if to say, "See, I fooled him." Smug face. Her look made me want to punch her. I knew she was faking being mute, lied about her age, and was the trickiest, most dangerous troublemaker. But to keep her alive, I kept it to myself, not telling Tang any of it. Come to think of it, why am I even bothering to keep this girl alive? Why did I cover up what happened last night from Tang? We may not be the best buddies, but after all we had been through together, why was I reluctant to spill the beans to Tang? ... I didn't know. Every time I wanted to spill the beans to Tang, I felt this tightness in my chest, making me choose to keep cowering for her. It was stifling. At night, the lambs had another meal of rations and water. After eating, Tang and I had to get the fire going and arrange the beds.
梁，我们把那个小哑巴的绳子给解了吧。
Liang, let's untie the rope on later mute. Why, you say?
影三儿本来就说他听话，不用绑。我开始不信，但现在也觉得这小羊乖啊，不绑也行啊。
Oh, 给他骗了。It's a trap. You have been bamboozled. Ying Shang says she's obedient. No need to tie her up. I didn't believe it at first, but now I think this lamb is well behaved. We can leave her untied.
给他解了绑，可以多一个人给我们拾些树枝，让我们每天快点生火和铺床啊。
铺床啊 Untie her. Having an extra hand together will speed up our daily tasks. Can't trust this brat. I shot a cold look at Mansui and said to Tang.
你什么时候比我都警惕了啊？放心，一只小羊搞不出什么大动静，在这山里，它想逃也逃不了啊。
When do you get more watchful than me, huh? Relax, bro. A lamb can't stir up much trouble. In these mountains, she can't run even if she wants to. Fine. Just untying her at this time every day. I agree with Tang and went up to untie Mansui. While doing so, I kept a close eye on her. Of course, I didn't trust her. Even though I had taken away her small dagger and searched her thoroughly to make sure she had no hidden weapons, if she found a chance to grab a sharp stone and attack our necks or poke my eyes, it would be pretty dangerous. Go, get us some firewood. I untied the rope from her waist and gave her a stern order. ... She didn't dare to defy, nodded and went off to collect some firewood. Tonight, Tang would sleep first, and then it would be my turn. I got a couple of hours to spare, so might as well make the most of it. In the next few days, staring at the sleeping lambs wouldn't reveal much, so I needed to find something else to do. I took up the wooden box from my stuff and put it on the grass. It contained items for shadow play, and I went through each one. Briefly, I sniffed them to make sure there was no stench from the corpse. Oh, 臭味. Luckily, the box had only a slight smell, and everything inside was cleaned. I took a deep breath and laid out donkey hide from the box in front of the campfire. The donkey hide was thin and had been specially polished. I unfolded the donkey hide, spreading it out in front of the campfire by holding two corners. Donkey hide, so what is donkey hide? The figurine, donkey figurine. The campfire's light, upon touching the donkey hide, spread softly, creating a gentle glow of covering its surface. Oh, I remember. This donkey hide was called a white screen. And shed 那个皮呀、驴子皮呀、In shadow play, performers set up the white screen with a wooden frame and light it up with lamps. Then the performers can control the puppets behind the white screen. Now, the challenge was how to use this frame. How can you support a white screen with two sticks?
不是这么弄的。
Well, why you are not sleeping? Master Liang, it is not done like that. Just as I pick up the two sticks, unsure of how to set up the white screen, I heard a voice beside me. Mansui spoke to me in a hushed tone. I glanced at her and took a quick look at the others around. Tang had his head tilted back, eyes shut, and the rest of the kids were scattered on the ground like a tip-over basket of radishes. They were all asleep with steady breathing. No wonder she dared to speak up. know how to do it? I asked Mansui. She nodded, ready to come over and help. However, as she took the first step, the rope wasn't long enough. She looked at the rope around her waist, then glanced at me with a pleading or pleading, I don't know. Okay. She looked at me, and I looked back at her. Okay, I will undo it for you. Don't try everything, huh? I walked over and untied the rope around her waist from behind. They are still asleep. Let's not wake them up. Open my eyes, don't close. 不要关眼睛. We will find another spot, carry the stuff there, and light a new fire to figure this out. I glanced at the sleeping group and whispered the plan to Mansui. She nodded in agreement. Cricket. I took the box and went with Mansui to a cliff 50 paces away. It had good view of the camp while being well concealed itself. I told Mansui to get her some fresh wood, and I went back to the campfire for a flame. I got some burning wood from the campfire and went back to the cliff. I threw the flame onto the new wood pile. Mansui and I watched as the new fire slowly lit up, brightening the cliff surroundings. How did you learn to do this?
爷爷就是弄影子戏的，爹爹也学过，也教过我。
My grandpa used to perform shadow plays, and my dad learned and taught me too. 我才发现到那个
一次，家里的粮快吃完了要换钱，爹爹带着我，基本都会一点。
哎呀 Wait, I wonder... Where is it already? Oh, don't capture cursor. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, my grandpa used to perform plays, okay? Once, when our family was running out of food and needed money, my dad took me to the neighboring village for a show and we earned quite a bit. Alright, I know the basics. Mansui told me, taking the frame and white screen from my hands. She threaded the frame through a small hole next to the white screen, her wrist thinner than the frame, weaving back and forth, slowly fitting the frame onto the white screen.
良爷，支架不够高，少了2根，得找些树枝和绑树枝的细绳。
梁爷, Master Liang, the frame's not tall enough, missing 2 pieces. We need to find branches and thin ropes to tie them. She got stuck halfway, seemingly facing a problem. You go find some.
可我不知道细绳在哪。
I don't know where the thin rope is. Alright, I will go. I got up and went to fetch what she needed. I went back to the camp, grabbed 2 thin ropes from our equipment, and picked up some branches. I'm not sure. Yeah, once I speak, eyes will close. Actually, what if I zoom in a little bit? I don't know if I zoom in, it will be better or not. It will be better if I zoom in, is it? It better be better. This is too far. Returning to the cliff where Mansui and I were, I handed her the items. She started tying the support frame and small branches with the ropes, and then threaded the small branches through the white screen. In no time, she had set up the white screen in front of the campfire.
良夜，为什么要把白幕搭起来？
Master Liang, why would you want to set up the white screen? After finishing the setup, Man Sui curiously asked me. Just bored. Nothing to do.
良夜想让我教你影子戏吗？
Master Liang, wanna learn shadow play for me? Sure. Teach me if you know. I'm bored anyway.
好呀，我也正想帮到良夜。之前惹了你生气，正好想做些什么来赔罪。
赔罪. Sure, Master Liang, I want to help and make up for making you mad before. Man Sui continued checking the white screen, smiling as she spoke. The brat knew how to talk. Smooth talker. However, she didn't simply piss me off. She wanted me dead. I kept that in mind. She wanted me dead. Oh, yeah.
良夜，白幕搭好了，可是还少一些东西。
Master Liang, the white screen is ready, but we are missing some things. What's missing?
少了乐器，影子戏一般是2个人演，一人操影，另一人伴奏。这2人中有一人还得唱。
We need instruments in shadow play. 2 people are usually involved, one manipulating shadows and the other playing music and singing. Alright, when we get to the city, I will get a musical instrument. For now, see if you can handle the shadows and give me a little show.
没有伴奏唱不出来，而且我也不会唱。
Can't sing without music, and I don't know how to sing anyway. Didn't you say you knew all the basics?
我就是不会唱啊，词儿我倒是记得，但肯定唱不好。
I'm not good at singing. I remember the words, but I can't sing well.
以前的时候，都是爹爹在唱，我要么操影，要么奏锣鼓。
In the past, my dad always did the singing. I either control the shadows or play the drums. Alright, just use the puppet first. I want to see
好，我先试试看小人有没有问题。
小人. Alright, let me check if the puppet is working. Wow. That big one made a frame. So big. She nodded and went behind the white screen to tinker with the puppets. I noticed she needed a seat, so I fetched a wooden box for her. She didn't sit fully on the box. Not sure if it was customary for a shadow play artist, or if she couldn't sit down because her butt still hurt. Hurt so many hours, one man. I got up and went to her side, watching carefully. The puppet had a body attached to 2 bamboo sticks. She moved to the sticks behind the white screen with her fingers. The puppet wore red rope armor, looked sturdy, and held a long spear-like weapon while riding a bright red horse. I recognized this puppet. Which character was it from the Romance of the Three Kingdoms? Red one is Guan Yu. Is this Guan Yu? I looked at the puppet in Man Sui's hand and
不
asked.
是，这是吕凤仙，
啊，
关公是
吕布
木
啊
箱里的那个小人。
I don't know. I thought Ribu is like a blue color one. No, this is Ribu. Guan Yu is in the box.
刘玄德、关云长、张翼德，还有吕凤仙，这些都是表演三英战吕布用的小人。
Oh, why is the name different? Liu Bei, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Ribu. These are all puppets used for the performance of the 3 heroes battle Ribu. Mansui pointed to the 3 puppets in a wooden box that hadn't been strung together yet. After she said that, I managed to recognize all the puppets. 三国, 3 kingdoms. The black-faced one with a spear is Zhang Fei. The red-faced one with broadsword is Guan Yu. Broadsword. Okay, spear is Ri Bu. Yeah, okay. The yellow-faced one with 2 swords is Liu Bei. The one Mansui was holding, riding a red horse and wielding a halberd, was the invincible Ribu, the big boss. This girl knew quite a lot. She even figured out these are the puppets for the performance of the 3 heroes battle Ribu before I did. Why does only Ribu have a horse in shadow play?
不知道，可能这样会显得吕奉先厉害一些。
But no idea. Maybe it makes Ribu seem tougher. The puppets aren't well made. If I made them, I would give all of them horses.
我可以教梁爷做，但是木箱里没材料了。
I can teach you, but there are no materials in the wooden box. I opened the wooden box and saw that the dye bottles inside had dried up. We might need to add water to use them. But even if we had dye, there were no spare materials to make significant changes to the puppets. Perhaps the dye in the box was originally meant for touch-ups, and the carving knife had become useless due to the lack of materials. As I thought about it, how did that body really end up dead today? Did he venture into Mao Huashan alone, or with others? Was he one of the shadow puppet performers? And were there more people with him? Could he have escaped from a theater group only to be chased down and killed? Numerous questions and speculations raced through my mind. However, there wasn't enough information at the scene for me to form a clear judgment. I might never uncover the true story. ... Alright, never mind. Didn't want to think about it too much. Time was short, so I had Mansui perform for me first. You perform. I ordered
好
Mansui.，
那梁爷坐到白幕前吧。
Alright, Master Liang, take a seat in front of the white screen. Mansui said to me. I stood up, and went to sit in front of the white screen. Sitting down, I looked up at the white screen. Mansui also sat on the wooden box I had just moved, positioned behind the white screen in the center. She wiggled her fingers, and behind the white screen, the puppet of Zhang Fei appeared first. The puppet shook a couple of times, wielding the serpent spear in its hands. To my surprise, not long after, Mansui took a deep breath and softly began to sing.
跑，加速跑进，长发蛇矛，手你我一。
I don't know how to sing. White robe, black armor, plain headscarf, serpent spear, grip in hand. She said she wouldn't sing, but as she performed, she thought shadow play without sound wasn't as good. To find her rhythm, she started humming softly. Her voice was low, like she was singing to herself, and the tone wasn't professional. She was probably remembering how her dad used to perform for her, imitating and singing alone.
情雨，去不去交战，贼命难逃仗义斗哎。
Now facing Libu in battle, No way that Skunter escapes my junk face hand. Don't know. I just simply follow the rhythm.
催马，来至两军阵，叫马贼人来交锋嘞。
Man, this kid is good, man. So good. Urging his hordes towards the two armies, challenging the traitor to fight. Man Sui kept singing in a hushed tone, while Zhang Fei brandished his serpent spear, shouting on the battlefield, ready for the imminent appearance of Li Bu. The puppet's shadow swayed behind the blurred white screen, seemingly alive. The serpent spear twirled, and a bright beam erupted from its tip, dazzling my eyes. Explosion? The scene played out again in front of me. Back then, my dad and I were so enjoying a shadow play. The lamp flickered, drums echoed, and the heroes of the story clashed behind the white screen. Sun Wukong swung his golden staff, now suddenly become Journey to the West, hitting the white bone demon. White bone demon. The staff lit up with a golden glow as it struck the monster's head. Just as I was cheering for the performance, the spark suddenly grew stronger and turned into a bright light. In an instant, the intense light burst from the white screen, accompanied by a loud boom, swallowing the whole entire world. Bang! With a thunderous sound, everything was consumed by the intense light. All I could see turned into a fiery ball. Eh? Ah? Ah? I shouted, jolting up from where I sat.
梁爷，怎么了？
Master Liang, what happened? Can't wash. Shouldn't wash. I got up in a daze. Dazzling. My hands and feet unsteady, eyes wide open. I looked down, palms facing up, lifting both hands in front of my chest aimlessly. Sweat covered my face and back. My heart raced, and then my trembling hands couldn't stop shaking. I quickly scanned the surroundings, then stared blankly ahead, unable to focus. I repeatedly confirmed that I was in a dark environment, safe from the imaginary burst of intense light. I thought I could gaze at the flames again after many years. Thought I could watch shadow plays once more. Now it seems I still can't. ... I came to my senses and found Mansui looking at me with a worried expression, trying to figure out what had come over me. I'm fine, just not up for it today. Can't watch shadow plays anymore. Let's head back to the camp. Don't want anyone getting suspicious about our absence. I gestured awkwardly to Mansui and muttered some explanation to her. Then I dared not glance at the white screen behind the flames. I put up the campfire, turned around and stumbled back toward our original camp, paying no attention to whether the wooden box was neatly arranged or not. Even now, I kept avoiding it. Over the years, I thought I had changed, grown stronger, shifted from a lamb to a wolf, free from fear. Yet, I still couldn't shake off the nightmares of that year. Oh, okay. The 6th year of Tianqi, I stayed in the capital with my father, a traveling merchant, for a few days. On the 6th day of May, at the hour of snake, white light consumed everything. Wow. White light means bomb lah. That year already got bomb. When I came to my senses, there was only a sky filled with blood rain and shattered corpses. For many years afterward, I could never escape the nightmare of that day. And even now, white light, a flashbang man, offshore soldiers. The 6th year of Tianqi, the capital. A sudden white light engulfed everything in sight. Houses turned into ruins, people into corpses. My father turned his face towards me, smiling, as if trying to say something. However, behind him, a white light suddenly flared up. I reached up to grab him, to pull him out of the reach of the light. But in the moment I grabbed his arm, we were swallowed by that white light. Immediately, we were thrown backward like swatted mosquitoes. My head hit something, momentarily robbing me of consciousness, and I blacked out. Upon awakening, my father was gone, and I found myself amidst the debris. The area was filled with the remains of buildings and burning fires. My ears were ringing. Yeah, it's a bomb. Unable to hear any sound, only sensing blood oozing from my ear canals. My clothing lay in tatters, and numerous people lay naked on the ground, their bodies mutilated. The world turned into a storm of blood rain, dyeing my entire body and the ground below in deep red. Why got bomb leh? That time still got no modern weapon yet, not eh? Still in those very early days, where people ride horses, there are no tanks or vehicles yet. I hope the blood rain will put out the flames on the buildings, but the fires only grew, refusing to be extinguished. Where was my father? How was he doing? I slowly got up, wanting to search for him, only to realize I was holding something in my hand. Oh, oh my god, all of them got tragic backstory. So sad. It was my father's severed left arm. Oh boy. Oh boy. I woke up from the nightmare, my back drenched in cold sweat. After watching the last shadow play last night, memories of that year flooded back. Later, I sat in the camp, lost in thought for a while, losing track of time. 4 hours later, Tang took over the watch duty. I attempted to catch some sleep, trying to escape the nightmares, but I tossed and turned, not sleeping deeply. For the next 2 days, I was lost in my thoughts. My mind buzzed in chaos, and my spirit felt like it had lost its way. I walked, ate, and slept in silence. I didn't continue studying shadow play with Mansui. That day, she packed up and took everything back to the pack horse. She must have wondered about my unusual behavior, but I didn't feel the need to explain it. Of course, there's no need to explain anything to her.
哎，亮，这几天你都怪怪的，像中邪了一样，这咋了呀？
亮, You have been off late. You have been off lately. Like you caught some bad vibes. What's up? On the fourth day of the journey, Tang pulled me aside. Just reminiscing about the explosion.
天启大爆炸，
天启大爆炸。天启 explosion.
怎么突然又想起这事儿了？
Why now? No idea. It just hit me.
依我看呐，就是你捡了前2天那个戏子的东西，因此撞了邪。哎，快把那些丢了吧。
中了邪。Ish ish. I bet it's the stuff from the play you pick up. Bad juju. Toast it. No, not happening.
也罢，你一直都倔啊，我说不了你。
Fine. You're stubborn. I won't push.
梁啊，我们在山里走了4天了，估摸着也快走到潼关附近了。
Liang, we have been in the mountains for 4 days, nearing Tongguan.
尹三儿在潼关附近的水沟村安排了接应我们的人，到了那里后就能吃顿好的，也能躺1天了。
Ying Shan arranged for help in Suigou village near Tongguan. Once we reach there, we can eat well and rest for the day. Alright. Tang hinted me to tough it up. Walking through the mountains for days, the monotonous scenery and constant vigilance against beasts and bandits got us down. Hopefully, once we reached a place with people and could feel the local vibe, I would perk up a bit. The road to Suigou village was tricky. We learned to stay sharp in times like this. And my gut feeling was spot on. On the morning of the 5th day, we had to cross the official road to confirm the way to the village. Trouble hit us. Hold up. I spotted something and stopped. At the same time, I raised my right hand to signal to the others behind me.
梁，怎么了？
Young, what's up? Someone's here. I pointed ahead. Tang looked over. About 30 steps away, a group of 6 people came into view. They all wore iron helmets, green iron armor, and had swords at their sides. Walking through the woods, their helmets glinted in the sunlight.
是盗匪。
Bandits? Doesn't seem like it. They look like soldiers.
官兵怎么会走小道过山？
Guan Bing? Soldiers on this trail? Shoulder, soldiers. Shoulder, soldiers. 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 Oh no, but we gotta avoid them. Tang and I huddled. Doing this kind of job, soldiers were the last thing we wanted. Sure, the world's a mess now, and the soldiers, busy with rebels as they are, probably wouldn't care about us. But it would still be bad to run right into them.
小羊们，现在谁都不许说话，不许动，都蹲下。我们等那队人走过。
Shh! Everyone, quiet and still. Crouch down. We wait for that group to pass. Tang let out a deep breath, eyes wide, and whispered orders to the lambs behind us. We all squatted down, watching the soldiers stand off steps away. Great. They weren't heading our direction. Just had to wait a bit. Just a bit longer, and they will be gone. I stare at the soldiers in the distance, watching them move in a single direction. Their leader disappeared from view, followed by the others getting farther away. They will be gone soon. But then, another something unexpected happened. Wow. Why did you scream? out of nowhere, I heard a lamb yelp. I spun around. Trio, the lamb, suddenly stood up. She stomped her feet hastily and stepped back, almost falling over. Oh no, snake! There's a snake! She pointed to a patch of grass ahead, her face pale with fear, tears welling up. Other lambs, hearing her, quickly fled from the spot she indicated. Suddenly, the silent woods echoed with lamb cries, screams, and frantic footsteps, turning into chaos.
妈的！
Mad again. Damn it. Tang cursed and hurried to Trier, trying to cover her mouth. But it was too late. The soldiers spotted us. They changed direction and came towards us. 何人在此? Who's there? The leader yelled from a distance. All 6 soldiers stopped. They pulled out their swords, ready to fight, facing our direction. What now? I asked Tank. He usually knew what to do in situations like this.
妈的，这有捧的死小鹰，早不叫晚不叫，偏偏这时候叫。
Mad it. Darn it. These noisy lambs couldn't keep quiet at the wrong time.
娘，我先去稳住他们，你快把小羊们的绳子给解了，免得他们起义。
Yeah. I'll keep them busy. You quickly untie the lambs before they get suspicious. Tang said to me, and I nodded. Yes, we needed to untie the lamb first. When the soldiers get closer and saw the ropes around the lamb's waist, they would surely figure out we were traffickers. 要招这样靠近才可以啊，所以还是要放靠近一点。camera 还是要照在我的脸上比较好。
关老爷，稍安勿躁，稍安勿躁啊！刚刚是我们的女娃在喊。
Officer, calm down, calm down. It's just our girl making a fuss. Tang walked towards the front of the line, about 10 steps away from us, yelling to the soldiers as we went.
你们是谁？
你们谁？大人啊 Who are you?
良民。
Just regular folks.
哪儿来的良民？是做什么的？
Where from? What are you up to?
华州来的，我们是走商的，要去洛阳。
From Huazhou, we are traders heading to Luoyang.
站在原地别动，我们这就来看看。
Stay where you are. Coming over to check. Tang and the soldiers were yelling at each other from far away. I would just fret Qianghua and was about to untie Mansui. But they were getting closer fast. Bad. Couldn't untie all the lambs in time.
那边那厮，我说了别动。
You there! I said don't move. I wanted to sneak over to Hongre and Trio to untie them, but the soldiers spotted my move and stopped me quickly. They came closer step by step, and I checked out their outfits. They looked like the border guards near Tongguan, not too tidy, but all with the same gear, even the same swords. The leader had a taller helmet and carried a short bow on his back. Seemed like their officer.
刚才是你们女娃叫的。
刚才是你们女娃叫的。Was it young girl who yelled just now?
是的。
Yeah.
她为何要叫？
Why would she yell?
哎呦，撞见蛇了！
Spotted a snake, sir.
你们刚才说走商是吧？ 要送什么货去洛阳？
Oh boy. Very scary look, the soldiers. You say you're traders, right? What goods you taking to Luoyang? The head soldier asked sharply. Tang was stumped. We knew we only had food with us, nothing else. If we made out goods and they asked to see them, we would be caught. Phew. I took a deep breath, trying to calm down. We are ferrying folks. I chimed in when Tang couldn't answer, talking to the
运
soldier.
人的。刚才还说走商，怎么成运人了？
Oh, ferrying folks? But earlier you said you were traders. How does that turn into ferrying folks? Ferrying folks is still trading, sir. We have been asked to take these kids to Luoyang. I replied calmly.
好啊，运人！你们这不是承认了吗？你们就是人牙子！
Oh, alright then, ferrying folks, so you admit it. You are human traffickers. No, it's the kids' parents who asked us to do it.
那你们为什么不走官道？
Then, why aren't you on the main road? Didn't you avoid it? Oh, okay. 反问啊. You ask back the same question because they are also avoiding the main road. So that's definitely something's fishy there. I calmly replied to soldier and ended up with a jab. It did seem a bit odd. Usually, soldiers like them would stick to the main road. Why didn't they take the main road out of Tongguan? Could it be they had something to hide? Could it be there were deserters?
喂，梁，你怎么跟关老爷说话？
Deserters. Hey, Liang, watch your words with the officers.
关老爷，你别跟我兄弟一般见识，他这人不懂怎么好好说话。
Officer, don't mind my buddy here. He ain't good with words.
确实，我们是运人的。之所以不走官道，是这几年灾情不断，官道都是逃荒的难民啊。
Indeed, we are ferrying folks. The reason we are not on the main road is because of the recent disaster. It's packed with refugees fleeing famine.
我们听到传闻，逃荒的人都心狠呐，会抢小娃娃吃。我们怕粮被抢，娃娃被抢，就走了山路啊。
We heard folks fleeing disaster are desperate. They might grab kids for food. We didn't want our food or the kids taken, so we took the mountain path.
所以你们到底是做什么的？是不是人牙子？
So, what are you up to then? Human traffickers?
说来话长了，
说来话长. It's a long
我
story.
是受渭南一大户人家所托，送他们家的一位小姐去洛阳完婚。
We are hired by a rich family in Weinan to escort their missy to Luoyang for her wedding. Tang had a bright idea, like he would figure out a plan.
谁是小姐？
Who's this miss?
她是
Her. Tang pointed at Chonghua. Chonghua was put off guard by the sudden attention. Suit frozen, her face pale, clearly surprised to be singled out.
你是要去成婚的小姐吗？
Are you the bride to be? Soldier squinted and looked at Chonghua, asking her a question. Chonghua remained silent with her head bowed. My and Tang's and my hearts. The translation bit wrong. My and Tang's hearts jumped to our throats. Bad. If Chonghua spilled the beans about us being human traffickers now, it will all be over.
是，官老爷，我是。
Yes, officer. I am. Huh? Can put the beam cap. Huh? Okay. Huh? Huh? Right. When both Tang and I were tense, Chonghua suddenly spoke up. She nodded pleasantly at the soldier, speaking quietly without looking at him. Why? Why? Tell me why. Tang and I were both surprised. We didn't think Chonghua would help us
你
lie.
看起来挺小，竟是要去成婚的。还有，
You
你
seem
为啥穿着平民的衣服呀？
pretty young for a wedding. And why aren't you dressed fancier? ... Chonghua fell silent, looking scared as she kept her head down.
是这样，关老爷，我家小姐看着年龄小，其实快到成婚的年纪了。
Officer, the miss looks young, but she's almost at marrying age.
伯家想先见见她，并让她先去洛阳住一阵子。
Her in-laws wanted to meet her first, so they sent for her to stay in Luoyang for a while.
至于她为何穿着平民衣服，这是我想的主意。
I suggested the plain clothes for safety.
我们这一趟路途遥远，难免可能遇到盗匪。小姐穿庶民的衣服，才不容易被盗匪绑了呀。
Daofei. With the long journey, there's a risk of bandits. Plain clothes make her less of a target. Although he's still frowned, looking skeptical. It's unclear if she bought our
那其他
story.
小儿为啥被绑着？
Oh no. Kacau leh. Stop lah. Don't ask already. Why are the other kids tied up then? Suddenly, another soldier chimed in. Next to the leader stood another slightly chubby soldier. He had a long black bag slung over his back, maybe carrying a spear. He hadn't said a word before, but now she noticed the ropes tied around the lamb's waist. Realizing only Chonghua wasn't bound, he raised his suspicion. Dot. Tang again couldn't respond, just kept quiet. The soldier's eyes sharpened, coldly scanning us. Too bad. This is bad. Can't explain. Chonghua's cooperation was surprising, but these soldiers were digging deeper, picking apart our story. If we were taking Chonghua to get married, bringing a bunch of kids her age didn't make sense. And why these kids were tied up was even harder to explain. I placed my hand on the hilt of my saber, and the soldiers took a slow step forward. No one spoke. Silence hung heavy, broken only by the chipping of the insects. Sweat beaded on my forehead. I knew a fierce battle was about to erupt. Should I strike now, take out the leader, or bide my time, wait for another opportunity? Oh, you fight or wait lah. Let's wait. Could there be like a more peaceful approach? I kept thinking about drawing my blade, but I held back. 6 soldiers were too many to take on. They had good gear, and I wasn't sure I could take one down in a single slash. Even with Tang's help, it would be tough to handle them all. But what good would waiting for a chance really do? Hmm? What is going on? In the midst of tense standoff, Mansui's voice suddenly broke the silence. Her soft cries, huh? That's the sound of crying. What? That sound like a moaning. Her soft cries grabbed everyone's attention. Huh? Another huh cat meme here. Huh? What's she doing? Mansui went to the pack horse beside her. She opened the bags and got out the wooden box she saw there a few days ago. It was the box for the shadow play. Mansui opened the wooden box and showed what's inside to us and the soldiers. She stared at everyone there with big eyes.
这是什么？
这是什么? What's in there? The head soldier looked blankly at the wooden box. Ah, I get it now. Mansui was trying to tell us something. With the shadow puppets and all, it's pretty clear. I suppose she wanted me to say, Officer, these are the props for shadow play. The kids, except the miss here, are part of traveling theater troupe. Facing the officer, I gestured towards the wooden box and then towards Mansui, Hong-er and Chui-er. The journey is long, and the master worries the young lady will be bored. So he arranged for a few theater troupe girls to accompany her. They are all from humble origins and will accompany the young lady as her attendants. If you don't trust us, they can show you. I calmly suggested to the soldiers, and they glanced at Mansui once more after I spoke. Mansui was setting up the shadow play screen, placing it on its stand.
不必了。
No need. No need. Soldier A waved his hand, gesturing for Mansui to stop. Stay quiet, looking at me and Tang, then at Chonghua, Mansui, Hong-er and Chui.
我信了你们说的话。倘若你们真是人牙子，这些女娃也不至于帮你们扯谎。
I trust what you're saying. Even you were really bad folks. These girls wouldn't help you lie.
我就好奇问一下，出个嫁阵仗倒不小，这是洛阳谁家的小姐啊？
Just wondering, seems like quite the procession for a wedding. Who's the girl going to Luoyang?
老爷，是洛阳赵老爷家的人。
Officer, she's from the Zhao family in Luoyang.
哦，这样啊。哦，我知道那赵老爷有点名气。
Oh, well, hunt of the Zhaos. They are quite well known.
是。
Yeah. The soldier and Tang were talking back and forth. I figured Tang didn't know Master Zhao, and neither did the soldier.
行，你们走吧。我劝你们还是要多走官道，哪儿来的这么多机密？别累着你们家小姐啊！
All right, off you go. Stick to the main routes, huh? Mind you, don't want to exhaust your lady, eh?
谢谢关老爷，谢谢关老爷。哎呀，我们明白了，一会儿就走官道。
Ah, thanks, officer. Thanks, officer. Okay, we will stick to the main roads. Tang bowed deeply, showing his gratitude. Thanks, officer. I also thanked the officer and then they turned around to leave. Finally, the tension in my chest
等
eased.
下，还有个事儿。
Wait. Chotomate. One more thing. Suddenly, he stopped walking and turned back around. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Tang and I immediately became alert again. What's he up to now?
想起来了，刚才你们翻行李的时候，我看到有不少粮。
Remembered something. When you were checking the bag earlier, I saw plenty of rations.
这里离潼关不远了，你们不用担心余粮啊，我们赶着去剿匪，暂借你们一些粮。
Oh, daylight robbery, man. It's not far from Tongguan. You don't need to worry about rations here. We're off to deal with bandits. So we will borrow some of your rations for now.
行，关老爷随便拿，不用借了，直接给你们就好了吧。
Okay. Help yourself, officer. No need to borrow. Just take what you want. Tang fawned as the soldiers started grabbing rations from our pack horse. After they took most of it, they finally got ready to leave. ...
妈的，该死的王八兵真是喂不饱的狗啊！花这么多钱买的干粮，都被他们抢了一大半。
Mad. Damn, those greedy soldiers ate up half our nation rations. Bought with hard-earned coin. Half an hour after the soldiers cleared off, we pressed on, and finally, Tang found the nerve to let loose his tongue.
不对，我想起来了，都是这死崽子害的。要不是这死崽子，王八兵也不至于找上来。
Wait, I got it now. It's all that blasted kid's fault. If it weren't for her, those pesky soldiers wouldn't have found us.
死崽子，害我们差点丢了性命！我剁了你！
You little brat. Almost got us killed. I will chop you up. Tang suddenly remembered it was Triers yelling that brought those soldiers to us. Tang drew his knife and approached Trier, ready to strike her down.
不要，石头爷，星爷不要躲！
No, stop, Master Tang. Master Xi, don't hurt me.
星爷，不要动我妹子，要夺走动我，不要动我妹。
Master Xi, don't hurt my sister. If you must, hurt me instead.
敢拦我！今天我把你俩一起剁了！
把你俩一起剁了。Move today. Both of you will get it. Tang swung his blade at Honger and Trier. Clang. I quickly intervened, blocking his swing with my blade. Enough, Tang, enough. Sure, the kid attracted the soldiers, but none of them sold us out when they showed up. They had, we would kill them. Since they didn't, there's no need.
又不是真要杀他，我就是断他一只手。
Ish, not like I would really kill her. Just want to chop off her hand. And then what? Missing hand means we pay. You will cough out then. Tank. ... Besides, it's still a ways to the nearest village. Can a kid with a missing hand make it alive? After hearing me, Tang didn't go to kill the lamb anymore. He probably figured out what was at stake and that he shouldn't kill or maim the lamb.
妈的，不杀他，不弄残他，那也必须要罚，狠狠罚。
Bada. That if we're not killing her or hurting her, she still has to be punished. punish hard. Yeah, punishment is necessary. Remember your rule. Cry or fast on the road. No food for a day. Let's stick to that. Bad temper, are you? Tang glanced at me, his eyes flashing with anger. He seemed to think that the punishment wasn't harsh enough. But it was the little slam who caused the trouble. If I hit her like I did with Mansui yesterday, especially if Tang joined, things could get out of hand. I kept looking at Tang seriously, and his anger slowly faded away under my stare, until it was completely gone.
他妈的，别让我再听这死崽子叫了！他欠我一刀啊！再叫早晚被我宰了。
他欠我一刀，好笑，妈的！To hell with it! I don't want to hear the brat's voice again. She owes me one. Chinese mean she owes me one slash. 她欠我一刀。She owes me one slash. And if she keeps yapping, she will end up on my blade. With a grumble, Tang shattered his dagger and stormed forward. He finally agreed to spare Chuyer.
谢谢星爷，谢谢良爷。
Thanks, Master Singh. Thanks, Master Liang. Sup, sup.
谢谢良爷。
Thanks, Master Liang. Sup, sup. The two sisters were scared by Tang's rage just now, crying and thanking me over and over. No more tears. Keep crying, and I'll give you a smack even if I spare your lives. With that stern warning, I pressed on ahead. We got to the main road just before night. Tang and I checked the signs, guessed how far Suigou village was, then crossed the road and kept going toward the village. We camped by a stream nearby. At dinner, Tang did as he said, didn't give any food to Treyer, and even spat in her direction as she lay there. Yeah, why you like that? Bad nah. Treyer watched us eating dry rations, almost crying with hunger, thinking about how she almost got us into trouble today. Tears streamed down her face. Trying not to cry out loud, she wiped her eyes silently with her hands. I saw Mansui secretly take a piece of her own dry ration and gave it to Treyer. I also saw Hong-Er do the same. Treyer ate it quietly when Tang wasn't paying attention. I turned a blind eye, pretending it didn't happen. Late at night, Tang snoozed while I kept watch. I freed Mansui and motioned her over for a chat. I wanted to talk about what went down during the day. You did good today. When the official soldiers came, you helped us with the lie.
因为那些官兵不像好人，我不能信他们。
所以你可以信我们啦，是不是？Yeah, that seem like they are doing fishy, like shady stuff also lah. Yeah, those soldiers seem shady. I couldn't trust
他们
them.
没走官道，行军的时候也没什么纪律，很可能是逃兵。
逃兵 oh, okay. The what escapees something like that. They didn't follow the main road and had no discipline while march. Probably deserters.
若是向逃兵求救，他们把我们带走， 待我们还不如良夜呢。
If we sought help from deserters, they could have taken us away, treating us worse than you, Master Liang. Mansui spoke her thoughts to me. Ha! A little brat had some smarts, came to the same conclusion as me. Those soldiers today seemed like they were running for something. With Tong Guan always in battle, it's odd to see a small group of soldiers wandering like that. If they got caught, they would get 100 lashes. Not much different from being caught a human trafficker. So they were like bad guys, ready for anything. These deserters, even if they thought we were up to no good, might just let it slide. Once we gave them a way out, they probably didn't want to poke around that too much. But I was still not sure about today. Man Sui seemed smarter. She knew those soldiers weren't good. So why did the other kids, especially Chonghua, agree to help us? If they wanted the soldiers' help, that was the time.
良夜，有件事想和你说一下。
Hey, Master Liang, there's something I want to tell you. Just as I was wondering, Man Sui spoke up. What's up?
除了星爷外，大概都知道我不是哑巴了。
Oh well, except for Master Xing. I reckon everyone knows I'm not mute now.
那些官兵来的时候，我给琼华说过话，红儿和翠儿也听见了。
Oh, so it was you. You are the mastermind. When the soldiers showed up, I talked to Chonghua, and Hong'e and Chuye heard it too. Oh, I get it now. It hit me all of a sudden. While Tang was busy chatting with the soldiers, I was totally focused on him. I didn't catch Man Sui whispering to the other kids. But it makes sense. She was probably telling us, keep quiet, don't spill the bean about us being human traffickers, cause those soldiers aren't the friendly type. Heh, you did good this time, Les. Seems like you deserve most of the credit for dodging those soldiers. I chuckled a bit, praising Man Sui.
我也是觉得良夜信得过，才这么干的嘛。
I trusted you. That's why I did it.
对了，良夜，今天还想学影子戏吗？
Hey, Master Liang. Still up for letting Shadow play today? Not interested
为
anymore.
什么呀？良夜之前是为什么那样啊？
Why not? What's up, Master Liang? Mind your business. Just don't feel like animal. I replied coldly to Mansui, then decided to head back to sleep. This girl, she's sharp and wise beyond her years, not like most kids her age. She's just as I imagined her from the start. She's like a cat. Ooh, chapter 6, Desolate Village. Okay. I think it's time to save. I haven't really saved. Hey. Hey. Okay. Whoa, such a long story. Man, some part of it is so long. But so far, yeah, there aren't too many like interaction. Most of the time, I guess like 90% of the whole game is all about stories. 10% of interaction and giving us choice to choose so far, so good lah. I kind of enjoy it, like especially this Man Sui, this little girl is so sweet, man. And everyone is probably suffering from a lot of stuff lah. And about the main character's backstory, I was kind of curious. Was there really a bomb just threw at them back in those days, where they haven't really invented the what modern weapons? They are still using primitive weapons. Then suddenly got like a flashbang, kaboom. What was that? Think we will see that eventually we might be able to know that towards the end of the story lah. So okay, that's all for today, and we will continue on Saturday. Probably finish the whole thing lah, if can. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.